If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths, and sometimes heights, to ensure the power is always flowing. Which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Going to the gym can be discouraging, especially if you're putting in the work but barely seeing changes. But with Tonal, you can actually see your progress with every workout. Tonal provides the convenience of a full gym and the expertise of a personal trainer anytime at home with one sleek system. Designed to reduce your mental load, Tonal is the ultimate strength training system, helping you focus less on workout planning and more on getting results. No more second-guessing your technique. Tonal gives you real-time coaching cues to dial in your form and help you lift safely and effectively. After a quick assessment, Tonal sets the optimal weight for every move and adjusts in 1-pound increments as you get stronger, so you're always challenged. Tonal lets you choose from a variety of expert-led workouts, from strength to aero hit to yoga and mobility, to keep you coming back for more. For a limited time, go to Tonal.com to get $500 off your Tonal purchase, plus a free 4-year warranty. That's Tonal.com for $500 off, plus a free 4-year warranty. Tonal.com.
We'll do it live. No. We'll do it live. Do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Everybody, welcome. Here we go. It's Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM, also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester, streaming at WMNHradio.org, and on the Facebook via the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. And, of course, today is Tuesday, June 16, the year of our Lord and the year of our Unix, 2020. And the number to call, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also send a text message to 617-917-4476. Or if you're John Hopwood, you can send like 20 of them at once. He does that. I know, it's hard to believe. Let's see. You can tweet me at Matt Connarton or send an email to matt@ipmnation.com. And of course, you can opine and interact via the Facebook live chat. See some peeps in there already. So we'll get to all of you in a moment. But of course, the best thing to do is to give me a call at 603-250-6007. Gonzo, Michael Gonzalez is supposed to be joining us this afternoon. I'm not sure what time he's arriving, so we will say hello to him when he gets here, obviously. It would be rude not to. So Gonzo joins us today. Tomorrow on the show, our second favorite entertainment reporter. That's right. Easy G. Eric Gagnon will be here tomorrow. I say our second favorite because I think our current favorite is our friend Bruce, who does a great job. But yes, Easy G will be here tomorrow, and John Hopwood will be here Thursday. So, you know, we're still keeping it limited as far as to how many people can be in here for each show as we continue to social distance. Not that it matters to most people anymore, given how things are looking out in the world. I think collectively humanity has just kind of said, yeah, we're over it. We're over this whole coronavirus thing. Because that's how it works, you know. You can just decide it's not a thing anymore, and it just magically goes away. No, I'm kidding, of course. We're going to have a summer of tremendous sickness and death. Happy summer, everybody. Yeah, that's where we're all headed. I don't mean we're all going to get sick and die. I don't mean that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to alarm anyone. But it is going to be a horrific summer. Just so you all know. Especially those of you who, don't believe in wearing a mask, don't believe in social distancing. You think it's a hoax. You think it's something invented by the Democrats through in Trump or whatever. Just so you know, it's going to be a summer of sickness and death. Just to fill you in. Exciting times. Summer used to be my favorite time of year. Not this year, not so much. Let's see. We will say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat. Brian Mackey, all the way from Idaho. First one in today, Brian. And Brian is a top fan, by the way. Brian, of course, host of the No More Excuses podcast. You can see him wearing the hat. And let me know, Brian, if we're recording one later. I'm up for it if you are. It'll be our first one of this week. And Brian says hello to Rocky Huber. So maybe Rocky Huber was actually the first one in. And I just don't see Rocky, but I do see Brian saying hello to Rocky, which, if we employ some deductive reasoning, that would lead me to believe Rocky may have actually been in there before Brian. Or Rocky was in there after Brian, but for some reason I don't see Rocky, but I only see Brian saying hello to Rocky. I don't know what to think, my friends. Facebook, it's Facebook. You just never know. Andy Barker, who is a top fan, joins us. Andy participated yesterday in our conversation with the great LaToya Fletcher, who was here. If you missed yesterday's program, and yes, I will address Mike Doyle's call, because apparently people are talking about it. But if you missed yesterday's program, LaToya Fletcher was here, and she's part of organizing these various protests and whatnot in the area. And so she is an activist, a BLM activist. And she was here for the entire 2 hours. It was a great conversation. And Andy Barker did participate as well via Skype. And that was great. Always nice to hear from Andy. On his show, the Nothing's Off the Table podcast, which I was a guest on a few weeks ago. That's a very unserious, more comedic endeavor and a lot of fun. But when it's time to get serious, Andy is very thoughtful and intelligent, and enjoyed having him participate. And I do, and this is a complete sidebar, but I do enjoy very much his Joe Pesci impression. There's Gonzo. In fact, if you go, I won't say too much about it. I'll let it be a surprise. But if you go to Andy's YouTube channel, Mad Sis Productions, and you'll see, I watched it today. There's a link to a clip from the film A Few Good Men. Just watch that, and that's all I'm going to say about it. And the rest of it will be a surprise. There's Gonzo at the news desk because he is the best newsman in the business, I dare say. What?
This just in, me.
Oh, my goodness. Breaking news. Well, that deserves an air horn. That's
I want to touch that button so bad.
Everyone does, my friend. You should see the messages I get. But that's my special Gonzo is here air horn. I saved that specifically for you.
So no more air horn. Just for me.
Right. Yeah. Now, what does your shirt say? Be yourself unless you are you.
Yes.
What does that mean? That sounds very, I don't want to say Freudian. I don't know what to think.
Well, it's like my wife has a shirt that says, my ugly Christmas sweater is your face.
Right. Wow. Oh.
Yeah. I have a bunch of quotes that I've made. I should make a book, but I have a lot of original quotes that I like to premiere. Right.
Yes. Well, it's wonderful to premiere those. And we have a call. First call of the show. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's Easy G.
Easy G, Eric Gagnon, our second favorite entertainment reporter. Are you still planning to be here tomorrow, Easy G?
Yes, I do. Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, you do. Well, very good. We're looking forward to seeing you, my friend. I do have some sad news. You are back on the S list. I don't know if you're aware of this.
Oh, no.
It wasn't my idea. I forget who suggested it, but someone told me that you should go back, and we will address this later. There's new names on here. Someone suggested to me that you go back on the S list. I had to rewrite your name because of your opposition to taking down Confederate monuments. So that didn't sit well with everyone. Now, of course, you can get right back off the list if you bring me a muffin, as you know, which is very disappointing to Peter White.
Oh, all right, yeah, I might have to do that then.
You might have to do that. Peter White finds it disappointing that
thanks for giving me the heads up there, buddy.
I'd like that muffin so I can create some art out of it.
Like
the donut.
No, actually, Matt likes to eat my food when I bring it.
That's the thing. Yeah, I'll probably have eaten it.
So I wouldn't eat anything he brings in.
Right.
He usually buys them about 4 or 5 days in advance.
I have heard that. However,
I remember bringing about the Peter White, a Queen City cupcake one time. I believe he did eat it.
I remember he gave me a gummy.
I don't have 100% proof, but I think he did eat it.
A gummy bear once, and it was all warm, like in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Really?
When the girl on the bus goes, I have a gummy bear.
I want to give a birthday shout out today to the king of all farts. It's his birthday today.
Today is his birthday. How exciting. Hey, are you doing an entertainment report right now?
Old.
Does this count as an entertainment report?
He's out. I thought he was out.
Well, because they do birthdays.
It's been a while, and I bet this entertainment report is quite lengthy.
He only gets one birthday a year, not like the Queen of England that gets 2 birthdays a year.
The Queen of England gets 2 birthdays a year?
Well, she gets her official birthday, and then she gets another one later on because it's kind of like, when they celebrate President's Day here in America.
Oh.
They have one of those in England.
Well, that's not fair.
Like 2 birthdays a year.
I say down with the monarchy. Down with it.
Hey,
down with the monarch.
I don't know if you heard that today, Matt, but they had to shut down production in WWE down in Florida for one of the guys, the NXT got the virus.
Yes, the coronavirus, I believe it's called. And I think there's a second. I think a second person has tested positive now.
That was a bad idea. I think having those guys hang out during the production. Too many people in one room.
Yes. Oh, by the way, it was Hannah Manning in the Facebook live chat. She says she's the one who suggested you go back on the S list, GZG. Maybe you should bring Hannah on muffin. Yes, but yes, WWE, they were declared an essential business by Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida. But now they have people there testing positive. So that's a problem.
This is the second time. It happened before.
Yeah, I know. What they should do is fill their television time with old pay-per-view events or something. They're worried. They don't want to upset their television partners at Fox and at Viacom because those are big money deals.
Mm.
Yeah, I know, but this is bound to happen. And of course, It's already happened in baseball where they had some players and some staff contact the virus. And I don't know if it's going to be a baseball season, but the same thing could happen in all these sports world.
I hadn't heard about this happening in baseball. Oh my goodness!
When you gather, there's always a chance that and I know in the first week I was watching that professional bowlers tour. They were really good wearing the mask.
Yeah.
In the second week, I watched a show on Fox. They weren't really wearing the mask.
I got tested at Rite Aid.
Trying to follow the rules. The first week I said, the second week I forget it.
What did you say, Gonzo?
I went to Rite Aid and I did the drive-through testing. You call in advance.
Oh.
You give them a week's notice.
Yeah.
And then you do it right in the drive-through. They give you the swab and everything.
Yeah.
And, they give you results a week later, and I am not positive.
Good.
I'm positively sure that I'm not positive.
Right. Excellent. Good for you.
That's peace of mind.
So it's really interesting to see what happens in the world of the WWE because this is the second time this has happened.
I failed my herpes test, though.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear about the herpes.
That ain't going away either.
Right. How about you, Easy G? Herpes?
No.
Oh, well, that's good.
Well, you have to be sexually active to get herpes, Matt.
Oh, right.
Hepatitis and herpes, the double H.
Anyways, I'm sure you got. I'm sure, Matt, you heard about. I guess Edge is going to be gone for a while. He got a herpes. Maybe
you got a herpes.
Stay away from the virus. Go home.
Edge has a no.
But then you never really know in the world of wrestling if they're really hurt or they're just gone away for a while.
No, that's legit. He has a torn tricep.
And
all right, well, we won't see him for a while then.
Yes. Yes, herpes in his
Well,
tricep.
he should have came back anyway. He retired for like 9 years, then he was gone.
I don't know if you know this,
Gonzo. For a long
Gonzo.
time, right?
I don't know if you know this. Easy G hates it when the old guys come back to wrestle. He does not like the nostalgia.
Because then they always get hurt.
Not always. Well, usually, yeah, they do. I guess, yeah.
you're wearing your goldenrod shirt.
Yeah,
That's
he
true.
for 9 years.
I got my goldenrod
Randy
shirt.
Orton is always
Easy G.
always a dirty player. And
Yes.
then I'll leave you with this thought. Then I found out that old fart Ric Flair was on WWE on Monday night, and he got involved in some kind of situation with Christian. Now that's one guy that just definitely
Christian Lacoste?
definitely stay out of the ring. He's too old.
Yeah, he gave Christian the low blow, thus allowing Randy Orton to win the match.
But Christian has herpes?
Oh, no. Oh, no, that's terrible. I didn't know that. Well, yikes.
Ric Flair needs to stay away from the ring because he could definitely get that virus. He's definitely one of those old guys.
Right.
You know spring chicken, buddy.
Yeah,
Well, they
that's
say anybody over 60 is more prone to get it.
anybody over
And
60?
They
he
say.
almost died a couple times in the last couple of years.
Who, Ric Flair? That is true. Ric Flair. We almost lost him a couple times. Yeah. He did almost die.
So what's he thinking?
Well, he's not going to wrestle again.
He's thinking, show me the money.
Yes.
Of course not. But he should stay away from the wrestling world.
You want him to stay away
definitely
completely.
too
Yeah.
You just want to forget he even exists.
But I think you're right, though. I think they need to take a break from the world of WWE and at least for a while, so they can figure out what's going on with this virus. Because
Yes.
how can you really stay safe, Matt, when you're in the ring? It's no 6 feet distance.
That's true. Yes.
Easy G wears a bra right under his tank top.
All righty, I'm going to clear the air. And,
Yeah, you are. You're going to clear the air like your dad.
All right, Easy G. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
God,
The
I
great
bet
Eric
his farts
Agnew.
are awful.
You think so? Who? Easy G's
Yeah,
farts
yeah.
or the king of all farts?
Oh, the king of all farts.
Right.
I don't even go there. But,
Right. Yes.
but I've seen Eric's apartment, and
Oh, that's
I've
right.
been inside of his apartment,
That's right.
and it's not much airflow in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he eats a lot of potatoes. So
He does?
he eats a ton of potatoes. In fact,
Hmm.
there were potatoes everywhere. It's like his
Really?
decor is potato driven.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a potato based decor.
Maybe he's on the Okinawa diet. You know, in Okinawa, Japan, they eat a lot of potatoes and they live to be 100, which means Easy G might be here for a long time yet.
Well, his dad, I've heard him say 78 years old. That's pretty good.
His dad's 78?
Yeah. I would take that. If
Wow.
someone offered me a deal and said, like, deal or no deal age style,
Yeah.
I would say, all right, I'll take 78
Yeah.
because that's good. It's good. You can do a lot.
You
know?
That's true.
There's a lot of untimely deaths and stuff, so I'll take 78
But would you
till I'm 78.
but would
One
you
more year.
but would you take the deal if you had to know? Or like, what if you could take the deal but then forget, like it was wiped from your memory? Because my thing is, I don't want to know when I'm gonna die.
That's a good good point.
Yeah.
So you take the deal, your memory gets erased. Yeah, I'd take the deal.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I would definitely because I would want to know too.
yeah.
Like I want to know when I'm going to die exactly.
Oh, you do want to know?
I absolutely would want to know.
Really?
Yeah. So you could go like Back to the Future style.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Cuz if like my picture's erasing from the picture,
yeah,
you know like in Back to the Future when he's playing in the
yeah.
and like, you know, trying to get his parents together. I would want to know that I have to get my parents together.
Yeah. There is
Well, that wouldn't happen.
well, there's a practical issue though here. I don't think the technology actually exists yet.
Well, we just need 3.21 gigawatts.
What if, and wouldn't this be a kick in the cojones? What if they invent the technology and they invent it right after you die? Can you imagine?
That's so typical. I mean, it figures that would happen. But,
Right.
you know,
Right.
I come up with all kinds of ideas, inventions, and I swear that Alexa's stealing them all
Mm-hmm.
because it just seems like very conveniently, like 2 weeks later, there'll be an app.
It's because you say them out loud.
I know, but what am I going to do? Harbor my ideas?
Yes, that's what I would suggest.
I need a
harbor
connector.
them.
If there's anyone out there that knows an app guy, I need to talk to that person.
An app that does what?
So I got this idea that.
Oh no! See, now
did it again.
You did it again. Jeez.
Great show yesterday.
Thank you.
Very provocative thinking. Like you could see both sides of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, I'm not black, so it's hard for me to speak on those terms, but I could see the frustration.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm not a police officer, so I can see the frustration.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really fair to blame all police, especially in Manchester, New Hampshire, for someone all the way across the country.
Right.
But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with a little wake-up call either.
Right.
Nothing wrong with a little putting people on notice.
Right.
You know?
Right. Absolutely.
But yeah. And as far as the Confederate statue thing,
yeah,
take them down, dude.
Yeah,
agreed.
agreed.
What are we doing? I mean, just because it's part of history doesn't mean that we need to. So she made a great point. Doesn't mean I want to look at it and be reminded of it.
They should be in a museum. They can be in a museum and be a part of history. They don't need to be, because a statue is supposed to be someone you're
right. And if something
proud
bad,
of.
if something bad happened to my ancestors, I wouldn't want to be constantly walking by it. If you want a museum, go get your little racist museum, and you can go in there and be you and do your thing. And,
yeah.
But at the same time, I wouldn't even care if that wasn't there either. You know.
Right. Yeah.
But as far as it's going to be hard to take down everything, though, logistics-wise, unless you have an angry mob willing to do it.
Well, I'm a big fan of that. I have to tell you, I think it's actually fun watching an angry mob tear down a statue and knock it over, and I get a kick out of that. And look, I'm not someone who advocates for violence or vandalism or any of that, but I have to say, when it comes to tearing down and not just statues of Confederate soldiers either, like any statue of anyone who's bad, like in Iraq when the angry mob knocked over the statue of Saddam Hussein. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, I mean, anything like that where the people are doing it, I think is awesome. But we have another call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Just another Ridley call.
Dave Ridley from the Ridley Report. How are you, my friend?
I've been worse.
Well, that's good. I mean, not that you have been worse, but that you've been worse than you are right now. You know what I mean.
I've been worse.
Yes. What's on your mind, Dave Ridley?
Well, they have, I guess, it was scheduled for last week, but apparently they must have voted, if they were on schedule, they must have voted in the State House on a bill to restrict the state from using facial recognition software.
Yes. And I assume...
So apparently you've seen kind of how the Chinese government has been using it to keep people from protesting or to punish them for protesting. And that's one of the reasons why I guess the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance has made it one of their priorities to try and get passed.
To oppose the use of it, to oppose the government using it.
Yeah, they want the bill to pass for the purpose of stopping the government for using racial or facial recognition software.
Right. By the way, Andy Barker joins us via Skype as well. Hello, Andy.
Why, hello, and I hope they ban racial recognition software too.
Racial recognition software, yes, very good. So,
so they may have already had a vote in the full House. I don't know about the Senate, but if they were on schedule, they would have voted on it about a week ago, and I don't know how that went.
Are other state governments already using this?
In New Hampshire, I don't know, but in the other states, probably so. I would doubt.
Who do they use it for? What's the purpose of it? Say, Gonzo's coming my way. Like, what do they have the facial recognition for in place? The government.
Well, it would be so that you could put up a camera, on a street intersection, and if someone walks down the intersection and they've got a warrant out for their arrest or something like that, then you can figure out that they walk past that spot.
See, a lot more face masks. A lot more people wearing face masks if that happened.
That's right. Which would be good, actually, if more people were wearing face masks.
Yeah, how come only the
that's another
convicts wear face masks?
I'm sorry, what, Dave?
That's another thing they could do that would just be easier and of course they sort of did do that, right, 2 months ago, is just make it more normal and allow people to wear face masks. Of course, I can't say that nothing interesting happened after they started allowing people to wear face masks, because something did. So I don't know, maybe it's conceivable that the the increased use of face masks did have something to do with the increased unrest in the U.S. But we don't know that. I still think both facial recognition software should be limited in the hands of government or banned in the hands of government, and then also people should be able to have privacy devices that they wear on their faces if they want to. That would be those two, legs together would be worth standing on, I guess.
Right.
I don't know how. I don't really see the problem is the problem. Okay, so the problem with them using the facial recognition for people with warrants or whatever, I don't really have a problem with that. But we all know that technology will be, somehow industrialized into some kind of other technology where they're using it for, inevitably, Subway will have that software and they'll know that, that guy gets a number 7 every time. Like, I don't want the facial recognition to stem off into private companies using it, which will happen, because it always happens, unfortunately. But for the purpose of, hey, that guy kills cats.
Right.
Let's stop him from killing another cat. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, I would like to stop people from killing cats.
Right. And then you could with that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's what always happens. You get something that's invented for a specific purpose that always gets, tweaked a little into someone getting their hands on it where it shouldn't,
Also, I will say, to use your example, if Subway does see me coming and can predict and get a head start on my order, because I enjoy the meatball marinara with American cheese, I would like that. So I could be convinced to go along with the facial recognition. Actually,
it's not a bad. It gives you heartburn though.
Yeah. What's that, Andy?
I was just going to say, you've got your mobile apps now that you can pre-order ahead of time. So down with facial recognition.
But it sounds like the facial recognition would do it for me, which is even wonderful. I'd like it, or maybe more a more refined stomach recognition, because it is my stomach's world, and you all just live in it.
Well, in that case, why don't we get the sewer and sanitation on board? We can find out what you ate afterwards and predict what you want in the future.
I like that. Yes.
I would like to know what they're really using the facial recognition for. It can't be just to get warrants picked up,
Right.
They got to be doing it for other reasons. And it's probably the wrong reasons.
Right.
Probably profiling is definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if they actually see in a specific face, or if, are they seeing features, which is alarming.
Yes.
Because that is profiling.
Right. What do you?
Going back to the issue of warrants, you were saying you didn't mind them just using facial recognition to arrest someone that has a warrant out on them. But we need to keep in mind that roughly half, maybe 2/3 of the people who are in jail at any given time or in prison in New Hampshire have not actually accused of hurting anyone.
Right.
At least not on the thing that they're in there for, right? So most of the criminals are actually victimless criminals, at least technically, and so actually we do want to protect their rights too, because just having a warrant out for you doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. I had a buddy who had a warrant out for him because he handed out flyers, and this is in New Hampshire, right, the least unfree state in the union.
But at the same time, to do that, they would need a response team ready to roll, because they don't know who the guy is. Oh, we got a guy. He's walking down Concord Street. They would need a team ready to go. Yeah. And also, they don't even really serve warrants anyway. I mean, you have a warrant, you could go 5-6 years without them even visiting your house. You know,
well,
it's
well,
like
maybe,
sometimes
but
they decide
Russell
to.
Canning, this guy I'm talking about, he went for about 2 days, about maybe 2 weeks, and they came through his door. And again, his crime was he tried to hand out flyers in an IRS office, and that violates this thing called the distribution of handbills law or something like that.
Right.
And they seriously, they came to his house over it and came through his door, put him on the ground, and dragged him off.
Was it a
so this really can be done to people who have done the right thing, not just to people who have done the wrong thing.
Was it a no-knock where they just came in and grabbed him?
I think they knocked.
Okay.
I doubt it wasn't a SWAT team. I've seen there's pictures of it. This was 2005, I think, maybe 2006.
What's his name?
Russell Canning. You probably know him.
I don't. Russell Canning?
You never even heard of him?
No.
Russell was relatively famous in New Hampshire for a while.
Really?
But I guess eventually Wikipedia censored his page. They took his Wikipedia page down. And he moved to Texas, and so people have kind of forgotten about him. But he was a classic. I mean, he was one of the world's most impressive civil disobedience activists. He was in Gandhi mode.
Wow. Oh, okay. Well, interesting. I'll have to look him up. I'm curious to learn about him.
Hilarious character. He used to he'd dress up like a farmer, put on a straw hat, carry a pitchfork, and he would just walk into government offices. You shouldn't be taking. Taxes are wrong.
Well, I can see, though, if he's walking in there with a pitchfork, I mean, I'd be worried. I mean, Well,
the feds thought it was kind of funny. They said, what was he carrying when he came into the IRS office? A pitchfork.
Wow.
And everybody in the courtroom busted out laughing.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good.
But I think my facts are a little bit I think that was one of his Manchester government protests. I don't think he did that I don't think he had the pitchfork when he was at the IRS office.
Yeah. Well, maybe he was just looking for some hay to bail.
It's possible. I mean, a pitchfork. If they're scared of pitchforks, right? Then they're pretty weak.
Now, are there cameras all over Elm Street, like in the city? Like when I walked here from my art studio, was there surveillance on me? Like if they saw my face, could they jump into action? Like are there I didn't even know. Like when you say they want it banned, at the same time, is it happening? Like you wouldn't want to ban something that's not happening. Like
who knows? I mean, if there's no law against it, then you would guess that maybe some cops are, downloading a little free software or maybe not free and kind of throwing it on a thing to help, their investigation. It's likely that if it's not illegal, they're doing it, and if it's illegal, they're probably doing it.
Right.
It seems to me that they would only use it for extreme cases, and in your buddy's case, it sounds to me like it was more of a body of work than a specific IRS flyer incident. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Well, yeah. So you're guilty of doing a body of work of handing out flyers. Let's go get him.
Well, it depends if that's all it is, though. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I have a hard time. See, I'm sympathetic to Dave's point because, as someone who opposes, like I oppose locking people up for example, I oppose the drug war. I oppose locking people up for prostitution or for gambling or all these consensual
check crimes.
Yeah.
I'd be in trouble.
Well, careful because those things are to some extent illegal. So, so I always say I'd be a lot more sympathetic to these law enforcement technologies if I felt that law enforcement was, more free to, do things like investigate robberies and murders and rapes and.
What about rapes and molestation cases and stuff like that? Then, I mean, it seems to me like, hey, if we can get them out and they're just walking around, I mean, I don't know. This is bucks against everything I believe in because I'm very on the left, I guess you could say, although the new left I don't really know about.
Yeah.
But so for me to argue against this is kind of weird, but it just seems to me like, I don't know, they would only use it in like extreme cases, it would seem like.
You would hope so, yeah.
You would hope so. But then again, like I said, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was happening right now, but I guess you have to assume it is.
Yeah, I actually didn't know either.
You got to assume everybody's watching you because they probably are.
We're going to end up like, is it London where they just like everywhere, there's cameras everywhere?
I'm sure they have all kinds of information. They just kind of don't bother with certain things.
Right.
You know, because if they're listening to every call I make and every Facebook post I do and every message I write, then, yeah, technically they would have some incriminating things on me. You know,
wow.
But they probably just don't care because I'm not hurting anybody.
You and me both, brother. I'm on about, I don't know. I can't even count the number of lists I'm probably on.
Oh, my.
Well, you're not on the S list. I am.
Not yet. I keep trying.
Yeah, we need to discuss that, yes.
I'm prominently on it.
That's true.
Big green marker.
You're on it in big green marker, yeah. For those of you watching online, you can see Gonzo is on there in big green marker. Yes. Well, anything else on your mind, Dave Ridley?
Well, I guess you just have to keep in mind that, looking at the government, what it's going to do with the laws that it has, it's kind of like Galileo looking at Saturn. You can see just there's something next to the planet, but you can't tell that there are rings. With the government, when you look at what they're going to do, yeah, you can see the law that says what they're allowed to do, and they're going to go a lot further out than that. They're going to go a lot further in than that. And that's because, for instance, they have this whole constitutional amendment thing about, the government's not allowed to, the right to bear arms is not to be infringed, right? I can't remember the exact wording. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I believe that is the exact quote. And you look at how many tens of thousands of gun laws there are anyway, just ignoring that constitutional passage that is supposed to ban all of it.
Right.
Right, you can't even get
so
a
they're going to
marijuana
do all kinds
card
of things
without
they're not allowed to do.
Turning your guns in.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got the nukes.
I don't know if you heard what Gonzo was pointing out. You can't get a marijuana card without turning your guns in, because when you when you go to get your permission slip to have a gun, you have to sign that you're not. I don't know how it's worded, but
it's more the opposite kind of like if you have the urge to go get a marijuana card or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you have to answer whether you have a gun or not.
Oh, see, that I didn't realize. I knew that when you go to get your gun permit, you have to attest or certify that you don't have any.
Or being high at the time, you mean?
Well, that you're not currently using any illicit substances,
really?
quote unquote, because it's still federally illegal. I didn't know that it also worked the other way around, although I'm not surprised now that you bring it up.
Yes.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, but it is, technically, legally, it is a federal crime to lie on that form.
Well, yeah,
but you're right. I mean, obviously, people do.
You want the damn gun or not?
Right. Yeah.
But no, you can't get your weed card or whatever it is. It's not all like mass where you can walk into a weed store and just buy what you want for really high prices, by the way. But
same
but
here.
Some places you need that card where you can grow your own whatever. But if you have if you're a guy who carries a gun on you, you can't get that.
Right.
They won't give it to you because they don't want you.
Which is silly, because if you think about it in it's silly. It's silly for all kinds of reasons, but also too, if you think about it in practical terms, you're actually less likely to shoot someone in a violent confrontation if you're using cannabis, right?
Who's more dangerous, a guy high on weed or a guy drunk on vodka?
Right. It's not even close.
But you can go to the store, buy vodka, and carry a gun.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Oh boy. All right. Anything else, Dave Ridley?
That's all. Thanks, guys.
All right, my friends. Hey, plug the Ridley Report before you go, please.
RidleyReport.com. I ambush interview politicians.
All right. And you do it well. All right. Thank you, Dave Ridley.
He does do it
You're
well.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
He does do it well.
He always sounds surprised when I ask him to plug. Like, I always try to make sure everyone gets their plugs in. But he always sounds surprised, which is fine. I know that he appreciates it, but...
Right. I think it's more like, well, I didn't call for that.
Yeah.
To be clear, it's not my motive for calling.
Yeah.
Plug the Ridley Report.
Right, yeah.
RidleyReport.com.
He is very polite.
Where he ambushes politicians and
he does ambush interviews.
Okay.
Somebody say ambush?
Yes, ambush interviews.
I think my Agent Orange is kicking up again.
Oh my goodness! Oh, my dad has that. How are you, Andy? Anything special on your mind, or are you just hanging out?
Just me. I'm pretty special, and
sure,
maybe not a great way, but
Well, good enough. We like you. You're good. You're good enough for us.
Glad to have you.
Yes.
Was hanging out a little bit.
Yes. We'll catch up with everybody in the Facebook live chat, and then we should discuss the S list. Let's see. DJ Midas, John Midas Manning, is in the Facebook live chat. He's a top fan. He is, of course, the host of Late Night Delight, which you can hear every Saturday at midnight all the way to 4 a.m. with a replay Sunday night if you miss it.
Well, maybe he can get Eric off the S list because Hannah is the one that put him on it.
Right.
That would be his wife.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So maybe he can talk to her.
Maybe
he can give her a muffin.
Maybe he can double stamp it that he stays on though too.
Sure. Well, that's a good point.
You don't really want to mix it up at home,
right?
You're not really trying to die on that hill. You kind of want to.
We don't want to cause any marital strife.
Yeah, whether you believe it or not, you kind of just placate to the wife.
Sure.
Very important.
That never happened in my house.
And how's that working?
I wear the pants in my family.
You wear the pants?
Yeah, whatever pants she tells me to wear.
Right.
It's pretty much like that everywhere.
Yeah.
Candace Johnson is in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Candace. Jenny is in the Facebook live chat, and she is listed here as something new. Not a top fan, but this is something new that I've seen show up. A sharer, I guess, because she shares out the show on multiple pages. And she says hello from Mush, our new cat. We had to get a new cat.
Oh, you got a new kitty.
We had, well, Molly passed away last week. So
I'm sorry to hear that. It's devastating.
Yeah, it was rough.
That is rough. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Well, what's up, Mush?
Let's see. Rocky Huber says, "Hey Matt, I feel the situation at the China-India border is worth speaking about." Yeah, perhaps we'll get to that. I haven't had a chance to really look at that in depth.
Maybe that's a question you should ask China.
Yes.
Don't ask me. Ask China that question, okay?
But perhaps we'll come back to that. I am very curious.
Is that why we had to listen to Hopwood ramble on for 2 hours about World War II?
No.
Okay.
No, completely unrelated.
Oh. I'm sorry for that loss.
Speaking of Hopwood, I sent him a friend request on Facebook, and I haven't heard back from him.
Oh.
I might have to send my friend Joe over there to talk to him. I don't know.
I don't check my Facebook, but when I do, I'll definitely, I don't know, maybe.
Well, I had no idea you were in the room, John Hopwood. Wow.
That gonzo. He doesn't even do it good.
It's better.
Speaking of gonzo, tell him he's not coming on my television show until he stops ambushing me about you-know-who.
Wow. Did she say, I don't even know.
It's my show. It's my show. I named it War 13. It's not the Gonzo show.
Yeah, well, let's say it. Come and say it in person.
Oh, geez, even virtual John Hopwood is here. Why, is that an actual conversation that he had with you?
No, I don't know. He's very vague and he's passive aggressive. And
I never noticed.
He'll be like, can't have you on the show this week. I got another guest. And then he'll be like, you're too aggressive and you're talking the mic too close. And you should really learn how to be on television or something like that. And I'll be like, so it's not that you have a guest. You just said you had a guest a week in advance so that I wouldn't,
Right.
That's okay.
I don't know who that is, and I don't care.
Now on this, but when you're on the radio, you kind of have the opposite problem because you end up too far away from the mic.
Really? See, I was trying to take a page out of it.
Oh, I gotcha. There we go.
You know what? We actually have a good time on his show. We have a nice dynamic.
We love John. We all love John.
Yeah. I would call him a friend.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. I always say, all the ball breaking that's done on the show.
Right.
It's all done with love and affection.
Right. I'm not gonna break Andy's balls because I don't know him.
Right.
But if we were friends, I'd probably be merciless to him.
Right.
I'm awful to my friends. Awful.
You can break them. They're in my wife's purse. I won't feel a thing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Jeez, how much dope have you smoked? I mean, hardy, right?
Brian Mackey is saying hello to Steve Craig Bryan. So hello, welcome to the show, Steve. That's a new name I'm seeing in there. Mike Pelopita joins us. He is a top fan. He says hello to everyone.
Not a sharer, though. You need to share more, Mike.
Right. So far, Jenny's the only one who shows up as a sharer.
Well, sharing is caring.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. That is so true. DJ Midas says, did you know that TikTok users are the 1 million people that RSVP'd to Trump's rally? They are making it so the tickets are all taken and none of them plan on going. Those kids are really raising the bar. I didn't hear about this. My goodness.
Speaking of sharing, that's probably how I got herpes.
Right. Well, I think so. I think you're right.
No,
So wait,
grow up.
What is this
grow
TikTok
up. Live
thing?
in the real world.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. He's really going at you.
Back when I studied under Professor Zen at Boston University after I got back from my stint in San Francisco.
You're starting to get the drawl a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's improved. It is definitely improved.
I had PTSD from that. But this TikTok thing where they buying up tickets to Trump stuff so that there's empty seats, because there's plenty of empty seats anyway.
So that's really happening, huh?
Oh wow,
That's amazing.
TikTok. I don't know anything about TikTok. Apparently, that makes me old.
It is a Chinese app.
Still trying to
keep
figure
that,
Twitter out.
Keep that in mind. It is Chinese.
Is it?
Yes. It probably gives you a virus when you use it.
That's probably why my friend's like, yeah, I have 400,000 followers, because China inflates their numbers.
Right. Well,
like 2,000 people died of corona.
You should ask China.
Yes. Oh, Paul Cormier joins us in the Facebook live chat. He refers to you as the Gonz.
Paul Cormier, he's the best.
Or Gonzi.
Hi, Paul.
Oh, that's right. I heard you doing your Paul Cormier impression.
Oh, so you're being current right now. Okay. Hardy, har, har, har.
Oh, boy. DJ Midas says, oh, sorry, what, Andy?
I was just saying, Gonzo, do you have your own show?
No.
Maybe you should.
No. I would have it for about a week.
Yeah.
I get suspended from little cameos here and there, and also you got to be on time when you have your own show. Like, I could stroll in 10 minutes late to this, and Matt kind of knows. When I say 4, I mean 4:10. When I say 4:30, I mean 4:45.
Yeah. Well, see, if you do a podcast and you make up your own rules.
That's a great idea.
That is a great idea. You should do that.
I should do a podcast, because you can do whatever you want on those.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally should.
Yeah.
There's no restrictions, I feel like.
Right. If you're strictly online, then you can say whatever you want. There's no FCC regulation.
Is that what Matt Connarton Unsheathed is?
Well, that's a very different type of thing. That's
dark web.
Yeah, that's it's only available on the dark web, and I'm legally prohibited from telling you how to find it. Yeah, that comes on around 3 a.m.
Yeah, and the $1,000 subscription fee isn't going to help either.
Right. I mean,
I paid it.
Yeah, good. Well, we'll see you around 3 then. 3 a.m.
Yeah, 3 a.m.
Yeah. Midas says, I'm changing my name from Jonzo in tribute to... Oh, I'm changing my name to Jonzo in tribute to Gonzo.
Nice.
That's very nice.
Nice. And I'm Manning today.
Wow. No kidding. Good for you. Oh.
Jonzo. What's up, Jonzo? It's the Johns.
Rocky Huber, who is a top fan, says, I hope Q didn't scare away Father Bruno the last time he called. Yeah, I hope not, too. Haven't heard from Father Bruno in a long time. He usually calls from the Vatican in Rome and reminds me to get to right with the Jesus. But it's been a long time since we've heard from Father Bruno.
Now, Q, is that the Canadian caller?
No, you're thinking of Chris James of Not Even a Show.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's upset right now, though, right? He doesn't call in very often.
Q? Well...
No, Chris James.
Oh, no, he's not upset about anything. He doesn't call as much as he used to because we became friends, so it's not as fun to prank call me.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. That was dumb of you.
But I know, I should have pretended. I probably should have pretended I never figured it out. But Midas says, all my semi-homeless friends say COVID-19 is fake. Should I believe them? Your semi-homeless friends? No.
I have a few of those, too.
Gabriel Jimenez, is that how you say that last name? He says, I love these type of shows. All technologies get perverted, created for one type of good cause, and then crushed for other uses, like the facial recognition. Midas says there are cameras all over Elm Street.
Somebody say pervert?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Sorry. Got excited.
And Hannah is referring to Easy G as Sleazy G.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I like Hannah. Hannah is not afraid to mix it up. So what are they doing? Are they sitting in the same room on separate computers right now?
Oh, could be.
Or are they like most married couples? One's upstairs and one's downstairs.
That could be as well. I don't know. I don't ask these kinds of questions. I mean, that's very personal. That's between them. I mean,
social distancing is key for marriage.
Right?
Amen to that.
And Brian Mackey says, LOL, John is clueless on proper mic usage. I think you have an ally in Brian Mackey on that there.
What does he know anyway? Stick to your own show. And when it comes to mic, never mind about microphones. I mean, do we even need them anyway?
Well, you're good.
Love you, John.
Oh, Jenny says, yet not a top fan, Mac, because she's a sharer now. Well, I think I get the impression it's one or the other.
See,
like
it's
I
like
think
an
sharer,
intercontinental champion. You don't really like to bring them. You don't like to give the guy 2 belts,
right?
Although
right.
it did happen once, right?
Well,
didn't Ultimate Warrior have both?
Okay, no.
No, okay.
Well, he had to vacate. See, when Ultimate Warrior, when he beat Hulk Hogan at the Toronto Sky Dome at WrestleMania 8?
No, Silver.
3 was Hogan versus Andre. Yeah. Whatever WrestleMania was. Anyway, so yes, Ultimate Warrior became the world champion, so he had to vacate the Intercontinental.
Jenny had to vacate her top fan title
exactly
to get the sharing title
to become the sharer. Yes, now she is the champion.
But we all know she's on paper. On paper she's not a top fan, but we all know that she's a top fan. It just got taken from her.
Right, exactly.
Now, does someone else get bumped up into that position, you think? Or are there only so many top fans?
Oh, well, that's the thing. There are many top fans.
So it's an unlimited list.
I guess. Yeah, but there appears to be only one sharer.
I remember I was a top fan on the morning show, so I purposely didn't go on for a while because I didn't want it to say top fan.
You didn't want the responsibility of it?
Yeah, I just didn't want to be like, top fan, like I don't like labels.
Right. Good for you.
I don't want that to be my identity.
Right. I understand. Good for you.
So.
Stefan says, I love the Papa Bruno will always have the full edited show of Only Father Bruno, which was epic radio.
Yes, that was great.
Oh, one of the best ofs I created. Yeah, it was the best of
him.
Father Bruno. Yeah, yeah. No, he is a great character. I love Father Bruno. Midas says they are on the same couch. Oh, go ahead, Gon.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Yes.
They actually like each other. They're newlyweds.
Right. That wears off eventually, I take it? No. I've never been married, so I don't know.
So I've only been married a couple years, but so we still like each other. But I see a lot of my friends hit that, what is it, the 7-year itch, they call it? Yeah, that's a real thing.
That's called crabs.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a real thing, too. Although I've never seen it in person, I've heard of it.
Oh, my.
I mean, that's just my professional medical opinion. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, do they have, like, claws and stuff?
Oh, God. That sounds awful.
I hear they're great with melted butter.
Okay.
Some Alaskan crabs.
No, they're not Alaskan.
Midas says, I love the new John Hopwood better. Oh, I guess you're like the new John Hopwood with your John Hopwood.
Stick to DJing. Your commentary is... Never mind about your commentary. Let's just talk about the fact that you're all getting along with your wife and stuff on the same couch. Who sits next to their wife on the couch? What are you going to do? You're going to make out and then comment about it?
Oh, boy.
If intelligence was electricity, this guy couldn't spark a firefly's ass.
Wow. It's virtual John Hopwood chiming in.
I love virtual John. I love any John Hopwood that isn't John Hopwood.
Michael Albert says, I was a top fan once. Yes. And Stefan Philbrook says, yeah, by the way, where's my effing badge. I don't have a badge. Oh, top fan badge for anything. Not even a badge for being an A something, which I assume is A-hole. Yeah, Stefan Philbrook is not a top fan or a sharer. And he says, wow, the crab comment was perfect timing. And the only thing gone, so I didn't do is say drawn butter perfect. Stefan is apparently using voice to text at the moment.
So voice to text is tricky. Over time, though, it does start to get better because it recognizes your voice, and it like I have a hard voice to kind of, like I mumble and I have a lisp and all that fun stuff.
Yes.
At first, it looked like I was speaking a different language, but now it's starting to understand what I'm saying a little bit. So keep with it, Stefan. Keep those hands free and drive safe.
Right. Midas says the virtual John Hopwood is ruthless. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Listening to you bore the living hell out of everybody.
Yeah, he's very aggressive.
Is that Ryan Gorman? I love that one.
You.
Yeah, you gave him the reins on his own show, huh?
Is that Ryan Gorman?
Hey, that reminds me. Where's Stacey Wilcox been? Have you seen him?
I haven't. I heard a rumor about him, but I don't want to really confirm it or anything. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that the people in his life demanded Ryan back. So I don't think that he can walk into a wig store and they won't serve him anymore.
Wow.
Like they have the facial recognition thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
So that actually, that would be a case for facial recognition.
Yes.
You're not Stacey Wilcox. Says right here, you're Ryan Gorman.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
But no, I haven't seen either of them. I think he's doing the domestic thing right now, which is always good.
Okay.
Yeah, I always root for the domestic thing,
Right.
And I'm not talking about the bad domestic thing.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
I'm talking about the good domestic thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like when people are like, he got a domestic. Well, don't they want to finish their sentence? Domestic what? Oh, he's a great guy. He's a father and a husband.
Yeah, that is a good thing to be very.
I'm very domesticated.
Very clear.
Oh, really?
About.
You beat your wife? No. I'm just domesticated.
Right.
One of those broad terms,
Yes, of course.
What a jackass.
Oh. Enough with you, virtual John Hopwood. My goodness.
Yes, call in real John Hopwood.
We should talk about the S list. It's already the top of the hour, but we can keep going for now. So you, sir. So the S list currently. So Easy G was on it. Now he was crossed off because he got me a muffin. Now he had to go back on it because of the Confederate statues. Daniel Zerone is on it. He's the guy who tried to start some trouble.
Wait, I don't know who Daniel Zerone is.
So he had made he ended up getting arrested.
Oh, that guy who Facebooked?
Yes,
the riot thing?
Was trying to get some riots going here in Manchester.
He's on a couple lists, I'm sure.
Brian Mackey was on it for daring me to put him on it, I believe. So but then he somehow got himself. I don't even remember how he got himself. Oh, he got himself off because he. Oh, that sounded wrong.
That sounded horrible.
Yes, but
sounded fun.
Well, it is good. It's good for the prostate. No, but I mean he also sent me food. He sent me yes, it is actually. He sent me some hamburger helper, which by the way helps her make a great meal, even though that's very sexist. So I had to take him back off because that's
say that hamburger helper
helps her make a great meal.
I think they use it for the play on words. Hamburger helper.
Right.
Helped her.
Right.
But man, that's got to go.
Yeah. Oh, I think it already did. Probably.
Hamburger helper helped him.
Right. Or helped them. We want to keep our.
Eat a great meal.
We want to keep our pronouns gender non-specific.
Wow. Hamburger helper. Let's all, you know what? Cancel culture, right? Let's get rid of hamburger helper.
No, I like it. It's delicious.
Good stuff.
Yes.
It's cheating. It's like tracing.
Hannah says Mike Doyle better be on that. Well, we're getting to that, Hannah.
Hannah, you're abusing your power.
We're getting to that. Now, the next name on the list in big green marker is Gonzo.
And you could always tell Peter White's handwriting, too. It's like, I can't find a pen, so I'll just grab this marker.
You know what I noticed, though? His writing is very similar to mine.
It is.
He makes his letters very similar to how I do.
So it looked like he was really pissed off when he wrote that.
Right.
It's in all caps.
Yep.
It's in green.
Yep. Yeah, he was the first one
it's still there.
It's still here. You have not been crossed off. Now, why are you on the S list?
So
Gonzo?
last Thursday, I didn't call into the radio show.
The old no call no show.
The no call no show. But here's the problem. Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. So what happened was, I didn't call because I didn't get confirmation. So when I call or when I come in, he gives this roll of the eyes and this awful, like, makes you feel so bad for coming in without confirmation.
Really?
Like if I came in on a Thursday and we didn't talk Wednesday night, he'll be like, we'll get all flustered and like,
really?
Yeah. Leg hair stands up and it's like
his leg.
You can tell he's upset.
Wait.
You know, he takes his
Joe
glasses
Biden.
out. He's like, yeah.
But did you hear what Andy said? He said, "Are you Joe Biden?"
No, but I say leg hair because he wears short shorts.
Yeah.
And they're not short.
Well, he doesn't wear short shorts.
Got him at American Eagle. But
is that your Peter White impression?
It needs work.
Yeah.
But really. But yeah. So I didn't talk to him, so I didn't call in. And sometimes like the mayor will call, and he just doesn't want me around for those type of calls.
Right.
You know,
right.
You know, whatever. I'm not good for the corporate business or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when the Citizens Bank came in,
right?
And I asked about overdraft fees, which was way off topic, I guess. But it's like, that's not why we're here. Well, I asked you, so could you please answer it?
Right.
But he didn't. But then he got mad and called the station manager, and it's just one more blight on my.
One more blight on your record.
But
yes.
So I confirmed with him, you know, and that time we didn't, so I didn't. Just like he usually confirms with Chrissy on Friday, Matt Cushane on Wednesday, all the regulars, and they're not on the list,
right?
But I'm on the list, so I feel like I'm being picked on a little bit.
Oh.
So I'd like that list, please.
Well,
I'm gonna add a name to it.
You want to add a name to the
I'd
list?
like to add a name. If you have the balls to mess with Peter White,
oh,
I'm gonna put his name on the S list.
Oh, see, that's a problem.
And I have an orange paint pen.
That's a problem. Now you could create your own list.
Who God?
But this list, only Peter and I.
Oh, you don't mess with Peter White.
Well, it's our list.
You talk about God.
It's my. Oh my goodness, he's gonna call in. He's gonna.
Are you talking about me?
Have you spoken with him since you went on the list?
Yeah. So I was on his show Monday. So I'm on a group Skype call with Carol Robideau on. Because she's on at 7:30 a.m. to 8 every day.
Yeah.
And Manchester Inklink, where all your information happens, or whatever it is.
The
plug.
Oh, where all things Manchester connect.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes.
Come on down to the Hot Knot, located at 1000 Elm Street.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
I do it a little faster, but that's not bad.
Tell him, Trudy.
Tell us more, Trudy.
Yes.
Yes.
CGI Solutions. Let's get them all on. But so I got called as he called Robideau, and I got a call. I picked it up, and he's like, "Oh, great, Gonzo's here." You know, so it's like, you can't win. But no, he loves having me on, I think. You know, so,
well, that's a
but
little
yeah, I talked to him. I stayed on. Actually, last Thursday was a hilarious show.
Yeah,
it was a good one. We've had some good ones lately.
Good. So everything's cool. You and Peter are cool.
I'm still on the list, which really upsets me.
That's
so
true.
I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that.
He hasn't taken you off the list, but have you asked him? Have you brought? Maybe you need to bring him a muffin.
I don't think he'd take anything I gave him.
I think you're right, because he was very judgmental of me. He was disappointed in me because I can be bought with a muffin, which still holds true. If EZG brings me a muffin tomorrow, I will take him off. I mean, I'll have to.
I don't know.
Maybe you should butter his muffin.
Should what?
Maybe you should butter his muffin.
Well, again, that'd be for the other show. Matt Connarton Unsheathed. Yeah.
Jeez, I always forget that.
Yes.
Yeah, check it out. 3 a.m. every night.
Yeah. Can't tell you how to find it, though. Well, Brian Mackey might be able to help you. He's looked for it before.
So EZG will be on tomorrow.
EZG will be here tomorrow, yes.
So be prepared to have some nice filler to Yeah, you get real political and real deep with EZG.
Yeah.
And just watch him bury himself.
Yeah, so I put him back on, and then finally on the list is Mr. Mike Doyle.
Why?
At Hannah's request. Well,
oh, you just put him on. So Hannah just calls the shots around here.
No, but you can nominate people for the list.
Right.
So you can nominate Peter White for the list.
But if I ask Hannah to put Peter White on the list, will it go on?
No, I can't put Peter on, and Peter
Is it
can't.
because you're afraid of Peter White?
No, I can't put him on, and he can't put me on because because we are the holders of the list. You
can't triple stamp a double stamp.
It's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So I hereby nominate Peter White to be on the S list.
Well, you can nominate him,
but you can't put him on.
I can't put him on.
So if you're the handlers of the list, nobody will ever get to handle it but you two.
Correct.
So it'll never be on a list. So I have to make a list and then hide it somewhere in the studio.
Well, you can make your own list.
I'll put his name on the wall.
Oh.
That went well for me the first time. That was a 5-week suspension. And now look what I did though.
Look what you did.
25 names on there now.
Right.
I'm a trendsetter. I told you that people steal my ideas.
That's true.
So you're a trend starter.
I am.
Yes.
I am. So yeah, so what happened was, Andy, I put my name on the wall and
oh yeah, here I'll put the so people can see online, yeah.
And I will admit, if Jason's listening, I am sorry for that. I was wrong.
Yep. So just to clarify, you were the first one. So our brick wall here.
I vandalized the wall.
Behind the couch. For those watching online, you can see Gonzo was the first one to take a black magic marker
in green.
And oh, the irony.
I wonder if it's the same green marker.
It probably is. That's probably why Peter did that.
Man, that Peter White,
because that's what got you on the S list before there was an official S list.
Yeah, that got me on the S list as in suspended.
Yes, and suspended. Yes.
So for 5 weeks, I couldn't be a part of this wonderful station.
Right.
And there was more to it. It was more of a body of work. But
yes.
But if you look at it now, there's stickers, there's names.
Right.
There's all kinds of names, and I feel like that wouldn't happen unless I took one for the team.
It's a free-for-all.
And it's good. I mean, we wouldn't get to see Scumpy up there right now.
Right.
Sometimes you have to jump on that grenade.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, but I lit the grenade and then jumped on it and then danced around like Deion Sanders.
Right. But yes, now everyone's on there. Even John Hancock, he rose from the grave to sign the wall.
Even my baby's name was up there because I brought my baby into the show once.
Oh, that's right. Yes, and on the Peter show.
Without telling Peter.
Yeah.
He's not going to pee on the couch, is he?
Did you say that? That's funny. I think I heard that show, actually. Yeah. Yes.
And Daryl is like, ooh, boy.
Yeah.
How about Daryl Dion running for New Hampshire Senate? Did you know that?
No.
He made a big announcement on the show.
Are you serious? I totally missed this.
Yeah. So good luck to that. We're not supposed to be campaigning for him, though.
Right. I'll be damned. I had no idea.
Yeah, good for you, Daryl.
Wow.
At 71 years old.
Yes.
But hey, what's Trump? 72?
74, I believe.
74. Isn't it funny how he's always saying how old Biden is?
Right. Yeah.
They're like 1 year apart.
Well, it's funny when it was down to when for the Dems it was down to Bernie and Biden. One of my Republican friends pointed out online that with the three of them, Trump was actually the youngest one in the race, which was I didn't even think of that, but you're right.
Yeah, he's the youngest girlfriend too.
Yes.
Not talking about his wife.
Listen, I think that's coming from a place of jealousy. I don't appreciate it.
Ooh,
but we all know that I like to grab them by the hand. Scared you there, didn't I?
Yes. Although I've seen Melania swat the hand away.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. It's better than what are they? Not a meme, but it's like a meme where it kind of goes back like that, back and forth.
Yeah.
Like those are the best.
Oh yes. Michael,
I'll be doing this the whole show now.
Really, you're going to do that the whole show? That's going to be very distracting and bizarre. Michael Albers says Chrissy Cantor should be on the list.
I nominate Chrissy Cantor for the list.
But why?
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Chrissy Cantor from Chill Spot. I've only met her in person once.
She's a sweetheart.
But she's very sweet. Yeah, she came down to the when we did the coverage of the New Hampshire primary.
She did get the show in a ruck. The Facebook Live room did get in a ruckus about some of the face mask comments.
Really?
But she can say what she wants. I mean,
yeah, of course.
But, no, the reason I said that is because she's on every Friday and she didn't call in or no call, no show.
She pulled a no call, no show?
So what makes her different?
Oh.
Because she's a girl and she cuts your hair and she gives you foot jobs. Give me a break.
Well, that's probably it, yes.
I'll give you a foot job, Peter.
Oh, my.
I'll give you any job you want.
Wow.
Is that how you get off the list?
Oh, no. Yikes.
Whatever it takes. I want off that list.
Yeah.
Then I go on a different list.
Hannah says, thank you, sir. Last night's conversation with Doyle was almost as if he wanted to be on that list. Well, we should probably address that. Now, you didn't hear it, Gonzo, correct?
I did hear Doyle's call. So Doyle's good at what he does. He blows that dog whistle better than anybody.
Right.
He starts off with, listen, I get it. I'm very polite. I'm very cordial. I just don't think you should focus on the police aspect. I'm not. Yeah. Well, that's not what you said. You did say they are great cops.
Right.
So what he's doing, he's getting his message out.
Right.
Without getting his message out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think by looking at him he's a great dancer, but he's a great dancer. But then again, I've never been dancing with him.
Right.
Which I would.
Would you? Yeah.
Anything it takes.
Sure. Wow.
No, I heard that call, and in a way, I agree with him. So I agree with both people. Can you do that?
You can. I'd be for your own sake though. I'd be very specific about what you agree with him on.
I agree with him that we shouldn't group all policemen together.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I agree with her that sometimes peaceful protesting doesn't work. And you need to light a fire or two. Not condoning it.
Yeah.
But I can see both sides of the fence. Again, I'm not black, so I can't speak what it's like to be frustrated and treated in a way where you feel like my words aren't doing anything anymore.
Right.
So I have to, you're not listening. What happens at home when you don't listen? You don't listen. You get, other actions potentially. I don't know how other homes are treated, but there are parents out there that when you say no enough times, that doesn't work. They turn to other actions, and then the kid learns.
Right.
Like spanking the bottom or something.
Right.
So maybe, a spanking is what so when you do all you can within the rules and nothing happens, like, you think Trump really cares if there's 1 million people on it? Like, he doesn't care. Like, yeah, protest all you want. Nothing's going to happen. But if something were to become closer to home, then he might understand. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the ideology behind what she was saying. Like, well, we're not, the peaceful protesting isn't cutting the mustard right now. But at the same time, don't target the police because they didn't do it. In fact, the police is big of a contributing factor to protesting that there is because they let you do it. Mm-hmm. They protect the protesters. There's an idiot on Elm Street, and I say idiot in the greatest sense. If you're listening, idiot, you're an idiot. This guy parks in front of the across from the snooze center, I guess it's called now. The old Verizon.
Yeah.
And this big Trump truck, big flags everywhere, and just decides, hey, I'm gonna get a megaphone out. I'm gonna start inciting people's emotions right now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go, all lives matter, all of them. And he's like, nothing. There's like crickets, and all of a sudden, a couple people come out, and before you know it, there's 80 people, 90 people yelling, and I'm gonna get you. And the cops came out, and this is like the first time after I saw the SWAT team, or what do you call it? The riot team.
Yeah. The riot squad.
With the shields and everything.
Yeah.
I saw that one time after the Red Sox won the World Series, and that was just to clear out, and everyone's happy. So they didn't need to do it. But I've seen it for the first time in Manchester that time, and they came out and they went around the truck, and they guarded him.
Yeah.
And it was his right to protest.
Right.
So the police aren't the problem when it comes to protesting. The police are your ally in this. So I don't know why they're being targeted. Probably because this all stemmed from a police killing.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But anyone with any common sense would know that idiot in Minneapolis had nothing to do with, Joe Cop here.
Right.
Are there bad cops in Manchester? Probably. I don't know. But the fact is, why blame them for that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have a choice to be cops. Okay, I get that too.
Yeah.
They do have a choice to be police. But most of the time it's for a purpose. They don't get up in the morning and say, I want to be a cop. I want to defend people's right to protest. That's not why they did it. In fact, they get shoved into these positions, and I bet you all of them are uncomfortable doing it. Who wants to get that call? Hey, you got to go down and protect some idiot spouting off at the mall. So they're not there willingly. I guarantee they're not. They're willingly. They have to be there. What they join the police force is to get scumbags off the street, and by scumbags I mean rapists and murderers and bad people, not weed users.
Right. Right.
But they decided to be a cop. Good, because if they didn't, because I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I know John Manning doesn't want to do it. Nobody wants to do it except for certain people who have that in them. And I'll tell you, it's a good thing, because tell anybody who hates cops, once they have a break-in in their house, are they going to call anybody but the cops?
Right.
Who are you going to call? Who are you going to call?
Yeah.
Your buddy?
Well, so the Mike Doyle's call yesterday. So there were two things that were problematic in my view, and I think this is what Hannah keyed in on, and other people as well. And let me just preface this by saying, I like Mike Doyle. I consider him a friend. I do not think he's racist.
I don't either.
And
I want that to be clear. I don't think he is.
Right. But,
I think he just believes on a certain side. He sides well.
Yeah, but he did say something yesterday that is used by people who are racist, and I don't think Mike realizes it. So the two things were, the first thing was he calls, and this happens with him a lot. He'll miss a huge chunk of the show, and he just lets his imagination fill in what happened on the show. So he calls and he's talking like we're just like, I'm sitting here with LaToya and we're just talking the whole show about how all cops are bad and whatnot, which is, and I don't know how many times I reiterated during yesterday's show that my position is that policing is just like any other profession. There's great cops. There are heroes out there, millions of them, who are putting their asses on the line for us every day. And then you've also got, the POS killers, like the guy, I don't even say his name, DC, the guy in Minneapolis who killed George Floyd. So you've got great cops, you've got terrible cops, and a million shades of blue in between. I have no doubt about that. And I said that multiple times yesterday. Of course, he apparently didn't hear any of that. But the other thing that was problematic was he's talking about how, the murder of George Floyd, it was a terrible thing and whatnot, but then he does this. And this is what right-winger, apologists, authoritarian bootlickers keep doing on social media and in some conservative outlets. He does this. He goes, but George Floyd, he wasn't a great guy. He had a criminal. He starts doing that. Yeah. And that drives me nuts. And I don't think Mike even maybe if Mike were on social media, which he's not, maybe he'd see more of that and it would be easier for him to understand what he's really doing when he says that. But this is what they do, right? They do this thing, these right-wingers, where they go, well, the murder of George Floyd, it was a terrible thing, but, he was a really bad guy, wink, wink. I mean, it's too bad they murdered him. That's not okay, but he did get in some trouble 13 years ago, wink, wink. And come on, we all know. Again, I think Mike Doyle doesn't know. I think he hears this in conservative media and repeats it. And I don't think he really understands what he's doing when he does that.
It's a good point about the conservative media thing.
Yeah.
When you listen to that all the time, you're going to get that. But I think if one thing happens out of this whole thing, this whole movement, if people like Doyle can become more sensitive towards that type of thing, that's the goal. That's the end game.
Right.
I don't know if there's like an actual prize at the end of the rainbow. Like there's not really a destination. I think it's for people to smarten up and just become more aware of what you're saying, more sensitivity to the people involved and to black people who have to walk down the street, and whether you like it or not, I mean, whether you think it or not, I mean, you can't say that it's not. And I don't know, but I'm telling you, my assumption is it's probably hard to be a black person because you get profiled, unfortunately.
Right.
And whether or not you do anything, whether you have a criminal history or whatever you're doing, whether or not that, you could have a guy who goes to Harvard, has never gotten in trouble. When he walks down the street because he's black, he's going to get profiled.
Yep.
And you can say it's not true. Well, I don't do that, but you do. I do. We all do. And it's not like we profile bad. We notice what we see, and then we don't act on it. The good people don't act on it or anything.
Right.
But you can't say that there's a difference between a black guy and a white guy. There's a difference. For them, unfortunately, they don't get treated the same. And all lives matter. But the thing is, black lives don't matter as much right now, unfortunately, and that needs to change. And that's where this all comes from. This is all to get people to, like Doyle. Unfortunately, he's being, used as an example here, and I'm not trying to pick on him.
No.
But there's a lot of Doyles out there.
Right.
So if all the Doyles out there can kind of just watch what you say and how you say it and like speak up. How many times have you heard a buddy at a party or something say something that you kind of just, I don't want to really make waves right now. But if you put him in place, if you check him at the door, he might not say it next time.
Right.
Like that's the whole point of shaming, isn't it?
Yeah.
People get shamed, like, don't shame me. Well, if you're buying 32 groceries and you're in the 14 or under line, yeah, I'm going to shame you so you don't do it next time. You need to learn. Like, let's learn you. Like, you need the woke. You need to be woke.
Your example about the, if you're at a party and somebody says something, it reminds me of there's a They Might Be Giants song called Your Racist Friend. Have you ever heard that?
Oh, no.
It's a great song. Maybe I'll play it. Andy, did I hear you? It sounded like you were trying to get in with something.
Oh, I just had a Billy Madison flashback and said, "Oh, Doyle rules."
Oh, okay.
And it's hard to talk about this because when I get on a rant and I get going, I really don't have the filter. So I'd hate to say something that comes across racist myself.
Right.
But, just talking on the issue can be a little dangerous in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I know me. I know I'm good. So if I say something that's off the cuff, I'm generalizing, but at the same time, like when I say there is a difference, I'm saying that unfortunately these sets of rules are different for certain people.
Right.
And that's kind of what we're trying to fix here,
And we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, man, it's Mike Doyle.
Hey, Mike. I suspected we might hear from you.
I thought I'd stir the pot since
Hey,
you guys are picking on me there.
Yeah, well,
hey,
it's all done with love.
I know it's in an affectionate way. I don't take anything serious. I'm not, believe me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I wanted to let Gonzo know I am a good dancer.
Yes.
Oh, very nice.
I know.
Since he was picking on my dancing skills.
No, I said you were a good dancer.
He said you were a good dancer, so you confirm it. All right.
Hey, all I wanted to say, and I'm not sure how this got blown out of proportion, because what I said yesterday, I meant from the bottom of my heart. What that police officer did to that man was inexcusable, ignorant, racist. Find any other words you want to say. It was horrible.
Right.
Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants anybody's kids to have to see that. It's beyond reproach that somebody would do that to another human being.
Agreed.
So that's all I was saying. That's all I was. I don't know. Somehow you got that I was dog whistling and other stuff.
No.
There's racism in this world, and it sucks.
Yeah.
There's white to black racism. There's black to white. There's white to Chinese. There's Chinese. You know what I mean? we got to stop it all together. I mean,
agreed.
But,
yeah, no, absolutely.
No, the comment that you made was correct, but it didn't end with a period. It ended with a comma. But, however, like today, you just said that, and then there's a period. I think when you but there's a lot of cops out there that are also.
Yeah, I probably should have gone a little farther, because if I want these movements to have some validity, which that young girl takes it pretty serious, and kudos to her for sticking to her guns. But if I wanted to have some validity, I'd hear things about David Dorn, who is the 77-year-old grandfather who got shot trying to help protect his friend's business that was getting torn down. His friend owned a pawn shop. And this David Dorn was a principal in St. Louis for 35 years. He helped so many young kids get out of the inner community and get to the next level, whether it be education with work and whatever. And you don't see any outrage about that. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know. It bothers me that they like pick and choose kind of. You know, if you can try to cover all racism, try to cover all racism.
So I think her rebuttal
story,
to that.
Grandfather of 10, and I don't know. It's just, you don't hear. You've read the story about that guy, right?
No, you're right. No, it's not covered. I didn't hear it.
Oh, well, tonight when you go home, Google David Dorn.
I'll write it down.
I mean, 35-year principal. He gets shot while he was trying to help. He gets shot while he was trying to help his friend's business being looted in St. Louis during the riots.
So I think what she was saying was that there's accountability, and like the people who did that will go to prison for that. The policemen in the past who have killed black people have not necessarily gone to prison for what they did. And she's saying all the people who have done crimes during this whole thing will end up in prison.
Right.
Whereas in the past, they get acquitted or it stops at the grand jury or whatnot.
Right. The system protects them.
And this isn't even a guarantee that this guy's going to prison. He's in jail right now, but it hasn't gone to trial yet.
Right.
And there's still an outside chance that he might, because nobody thought Rodney King's beaters would be acquitted either.
That's true.
So you just never know. And if that happens, then it'd be bad news.
So one, let's have more police reform where we get past this. You know what I mean? Where these incidents are if never much fewer and far between, and we're more sensitive with the kid that got shot in Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easily that could have been diffused since they had his license in his car.
Right.
That there was no reason to shoot him. They could have just said, "Go ahead and run home, and we'll be there in 10 minutes to pick you up."
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of programs they got to start working on, where these guys are just use their head a little bit more than going right to the handcuffs and the whatever.
Yeah.
Because the kid seemed to be talking pretty intelligently, so he didn't sound like a drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although he was just over the limit. He didn't sound like he was, you can always have one extra beer, be slightly over the limit and still in pretty good shape. You know what I mean?
I do.
0.08 is the limit, and supposedly he blew a 1.0. That's right there.
Yeah.
You can pretty much do things on 1.0. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not 2.0. So they could have diffused that, and they could have used a little more common sense.
Right.
And so that's all I'm saying. I just wish it was all across the board. We try to figure out, racism, and maybe we have more problems with the court system than the police. You know what I mean? As far as if these people are getting off and not paying for their
that's part of it.
inadvertent things, and judges are not taking them to task, then maybe we have more problem with the court system, we think, too,
Oh, I think there's a lot of problems in the court system. The thing that we were kind of picking on about yesterday, Mike, there was something very specific that you did that I don't think you did this in bad faith. I don't think you even realize it fully, but when you it was kind of at the end of your call, you started bringing up George Floyd's past. And there's a thing that happens in a lot of right-wing media, and you're not on. I know you're not on social media. You're not on Facebook and all that. At least I don't think you are. So you don't see this.
He's on Fox News, though.
You know, right? But you don't see this necessarily firsthand. But there is a strategy in right-wing media where they try to minimize these things by doing this whole thing where they'll go, yeah, the murder of George Floyd, it's terrible and whatnot, but, he was a really bad guy, wink, wink. And that's a thing that they do consistently with these killings. And it sounded like that's what you were doing. Now, again, I wasn't
trying to put. I probably said that wrong because I wasn't trying to rope those two together.
Right.
But what I was trying to do was, try to make the difference between how much publicity this guy got versus this guy, the 77-year-old teacher, who got nothing and spent his whole life helping young kids get out of the center city.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. I guess I felt a little bad that this guy who did everything and was just trying to help his friend, and you don't get any coverage.
Was it on camera though?
Right. I don't know. But anyways, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean.
No, I
didn't mean. Hey, because this guy had a past record, there's any kind of justification of what happened.
Right.
That's definitely not what I was saying.
And Mike, we both stated that we don't think there's any racism in you at all. It's just so you know, we do not think that.
Right. Yeah, to be clear. But just be aware that is a strategy that right wing media uses. But
I've heard it.
Yeah,
I heard it.
yeah,
I read his record. I read the whole thing. I mean, I know.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But
if you get a chance, do a little info on that David Dern. It would just be an interesting topic to bring up.
Oh, sure.
And talk about, just to give him a little kudos, to talk about his life and what he did for the young kids.
I think the difference was this was on camera, and David Dorn, it doesn't seem like it was on camera for everybody to like. This was like front, like this couldn't be more clear.
It was on YouTube.
It was.
Well, Andy, but before you go, Mike, Andy Barker is with us via Skype, and I think he wanted to interject with something. Go ahead, Andy.
Sure.
Yeah. So I live in St. Louis, and David Dorn was a retired St. Louis City captain in the police department. So he wasn't a teacher.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. He was a police chief, right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But it didn't keep going. If you know of him, did you? The stories are that he was implemental in helping the inner city.
Oh,
kids.
For sure, 100%. He was very well loved in the city.
So sometimes when you get involved and break up a fight, you don't know the circumstance, and you're just the guy who broke up a fight. You know what I mean? Like, no one really looks at your record before they stab you when you're breaking up a fight.
Right.
No. This was. It was on YouTube, and I think they took it off because the family was mad that somebody filmed it, him getting shot.
Oh, okay.
It was another black. It was a black guy that shot him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was looting him or I don't know what the situation was, but they caught him. And but I don't know. I just felt bad for that guy. I was saying, I don't know. I just wish there'd be even across the board type thing.
Well, I think that's hard to do, but also, as Gonzo was pointing out, the reason it's come to a head with George Floyd is this is the clearest example. I mean, the George Floyd video is so unique because there's no ambiguity about it. You're clearly watching these cops murder him, and so it's there's video evidence of other incidents, obviously, but this is so clear cut. That's why this has really brought everything to a head.
You know who got put in a really odd spot was the two rookies that were being trained during that situation.
Yeah,
I know.
And think about it. You go through the police academy. You do everything you got to do to become a policeman. They're probably calling their parents saying, "Hey, I'm starting next week. My first day's on the job." One of them was on the job 4 days.
Yeah,
and now he's got a chance of going to prison for.
I would agree with that because, like, when you're a freshman on a football team or something, and a senior's doing something bad, you don't usually take the initiative to tackle him or do something. Like, you kind of follow suit, and like, not everybody has a hero gene in them. And that rookie is standing there, and he's like, I can't believe this crap. And what? Like, yeah, I don't like this, but what am I supposed to? I don't know. It is a tough spot. Now, could we all be like, well, he should have done something? Yes, he should have. Now, what do you do, though? You go up to him with your gun and put it to his head? Like, how do you handle that when you're You could put your firearm down and not point it at the crowd, maybe. But
just shove them off of them.
Right. Would you do that, Andy?
I would.
Everyone says they would, but it's a hard thing to say when you're 4 days into your job and then this guy who's got an obvious reputation. He's been there, 18 violations, whatever. That's the reported ones because nobody calls the cops on the cops. It's so extreme that they actually did that. Now, this guy's got an image. You're going to go and tackle him? I don't know if you would. I don't know if you're going to do that, why didn't the bystanders tackle him? It seems easier said than done. Now imagine if that's on tape.
I see what you're
saying. A cop tackling this guy.
I could tell you for certain that I would.
Well, I could tell you I would too.
But I've also been in many situations like that in the past.
I can see Mike's point
where it's never easy to stand up and do the right thing. But it's always
your own people, like that code of blue, like you're gonna go and tackle someone on camera. It seems a little a tough spot to be in.
It is a tough spot, but I've been in the military for 30 years, and I tell you, I've been in a lot of tough spots, very similar to that, where life and death is imminent. And like again, like I said, it's not easy to do the right thing, but it's always right.
Yeah.
So
I wonder how that would have gone down.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I'm not sure the kid could make the rookie could make that designation that it was life or death. You know what I mean. I'm not sure he was saying he's on his neck. It's horrible. Maybe he's I'm not. Maybe he was thinking this ain't gonna lead to death.
He was effing a brick.
I don't know. He was just in a tough spot. But if you notice in the tape, there is one guy yelling at them consistently, going, "Hey, what are you doing? He can't breathe. He's passed out, dude. What are you doing? Get off him." There was one guy standing there yelling at the cops, but I guess he just didn't have that moment to just dive in and knock the guy off him.
Because nobody really does that, to be honest. You never see a film of a cop being inappropriate and then another cop just tackling him. It really, it's a lot to ask out of another cop.
I guess you're right. If you were that guy and you tackle a cop, do you risk the chance of one of the other cops pulling his gun and shooting you?
And to go further, even to get more cynical. Now he lives, right? You saved the guy's life. Now there's no reason for you to have justification for doing it. Unfortunately, like if he didn't pass away, then if the guy lived, then he wouldn't get chastised for not jumping in. But now he jumps in and he saves him. Now there's no, that was unjustified. What are you doing? You stay over there, rookie. I got it.
Right.
I'm doing protocol. So, that's a horrible position to be in. So, again, when I say I side on both sides, it's only because I can see
you can sympathize
where they're coming.
with the rookie.
I can put myself in their shoes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I believe it. And me and Andy both say, we would tackle the guy. And I would.
Yeah.
I get myself in trouble for that crap all the time. But at the same time, 4 days, I did not know that, number one. I did not know. If he was really 4 days into it, that's a tough position.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I agree with you as far as the rookie perspective goes. That would be a very tough position.
Like you're new on a football team, you don't go right after the captain of the team, and
right.
It's tough.
He had two senior guys there training him. So that's it's tough. It's just tough.
But at the same time, society demands it. Like he's gonna go. He has to go. I mean, it's like he's collateral damage.
At some point, humanity has to take over. And
but
you
I
just
think
say,
over time,
I'm gonna go
he'll
for
be the
it.
first one let out.
So. Hey Matt, one last thing. I'm not bringing you a muffin.
That's okay.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Later, Mike.
All right, thanks, Mike. Bye-bye. No muffin from Mike Doyle. Well, that is disappointing.
A lot of people would just sit there and take sit there and listen and not call in. So at least he's got the nuts to call in. Not like, I agree with everything he says, but at the same time, at least he's standing up for himself, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But, it's a sensitive subject, and so many people would rather just not talk about it right now. It's so much easier to just, I'll take a pass on this one. I don't need to give you my hot take on this one, but I think that getting a conversation started, and that's important, and again, putting yourself in other people's shoes individually on the micro, not the macro, because these guys are getting treated on the macro. Should he have done something? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, it's like when you're a friend, if, say, 4 people go and break and enter in a house, if you're the guy who's with them and say, guys, I'm going to stay out here. I'm going to sit in the curb. I don't want to do this. You're still treated as if you did it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what do?
I mean, at the very
you don't
least,
get in the car, I guess.
At the very least, you're an accessory. Yeah.
Right. Like, and if someone dies during that whole thing.
Yeah.
So if you're with 4 friends and they all go in and rob a house and the homeowner shoots you, shoots one of the burglars, and you don't go in and you're on the grass just sitting there like, I wish this wasn't happening, my friends are jerks, and they kill you, you will be charged with murder because it happened during a felony situation. You were committing a felony and a death happened. You will be put in murder. So
really?
So if the homeowner shoots the burglar,
yeah,
and you're sitting on the lawn because you're afraid to go in,
yeah,
you will be treated for murder in some states.
Really?
Yeah. There was an example of that.
That's interesting.
There was an example of that famous comedian. He was in that movie Scorsese just did, that long-ass movie on Netflix.
The Irishman?
The Irishman, yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of the supporting roles. His brother had a home invasion in L.A. and I think Las Vegas, and he shot one of the people that came in, and then all the people that were with him, all 4 people, got charged with murder because a death occurred during a felony crime.
Interesting.
Isn't that
interesting?
And like, so if you're like, I'm just rolling with my crew, because there's backlash for not going in too.
Yeah.
Say everything goes smooth and they get their stuff and they come out and you go home now, you're gonna get chastised in your inner circle.
Yeah.
Now, should you be in that inner circle? No, but it's easier said than done. We all have friends that we don't call friends, but they're still in our friend group.
Yeah.
At least we did, maybe in our younger years. But we've all had people associated in our group that you see all the time that you may not like, but you still end up rolling with them sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
See, I'm always the wheel man, and if I sense even the slightest bit of trouble, I'm out of there.
Right. You're out of there unless you're not manning the wheel, though.
Right.
If the wheelman's like, come on, we're going to, or if you're going to get ice cream and they're like, no, we're going to go rob this house real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't want to, I'll stay here. You're still part of that group. You're still going in.
I'll go in if one of them brings me a muffin.
Yes, I know, and you'll take them off the list.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
exactly.
what kind of guy you are, man.
It really is.
You're a muffin whore.
I am. I am. Do you know the muffin whore?
You gotta have your priorities in life.
Absolutely. It's my stomach's world. You all just live in it, as I always say.
Fellas, I'm going to bounce.
All right.
I'm getting the evil looks from the family, so I don't want to sit on the couch again.
All right, Andy Barker. Well, thank you, my friend. Hey, plug your podcast before you
go.
Hey,
nothing's off the table. We're live every Wednesday night on the Loser Radio Network on Facebook. We go on at 8:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time or 9:30 p.m. for where you guys are at. Come check us out, have some fun, and call in and interact, and we'll go from there.
Every night, huh? That's going to be...
No, every Wednesday.
Oh, every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Every
Wednesday. Say, that's going to be hard to do every night.
All right, Andy.
All right, you guys.
Always nice to talk with you.
Andy,
Thank you.
Nice to meet you
Nice
via
to meet
Skype.
you as well.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Andy Barker leaves us. The phone line is still open for anyone who wants to get in, 603-250-6007.
Boy, that got heavy.
We blew right through the break, but that's okay.
That got deep.
Yes.
We're talking about, Peter White impressions, and now we're...
No, I'm glad Mike called, though. Honestly, I think we might have helped him in a way, because I think, like I said, I think in good faith, I think he genuinely didn't realize how it came off, what he said yesterday.
Well, unlike Trump, he actually apologized for saying something the wrong way. And
yeah.
He handled it well.
Right.
Yeah. And again, I think if anything can happen out of this whole thing, it's maybe that people who don't really know that they're doing something will just change the way their tactics, change their tact. Don't lack tact.
Right. There you go. Yes.
That's another saying. That's my next T-shirt.
Right. There's a lot going on in the Facebook live chat. Hello to Veronette March. Veronette, recently interviewed LaToya Fletcher, who was on with us yesterday, and that's going to be showing up soon in Manchester Inklink, where all things Manchester connect.
Yeah, that one.
As yes. Let's see. Brian Mackey says Melania recently updated her prenup. Strange. Yeah, did you see that story? Apparently, Melania Trump, she renegotiated her prenup.
You can have post-nups now?
Apparently, yes, she renegotiated her prenup when she was moving into the White House.
So you can do that?
Apparently.
Isn't the whole point so you don't get that money from me? And now you're like, oh, actually, I didn't know you were going to be president.
Right. Well, yeah, because if you think about it, she never expected to have to move. She thought she was going to be in New York. She never expected to have to move to Washington, D.C.
Oh, poor girl.
So, well, there you go. Hey, she's
a
smart lady.
Let me put myself in her shoes. Poor girl.
Yes. There you go.
It must suck to be married to him, though, actually.
I would imagine in some ways it would, yeah.
Do you think he's sweet to her? You think they sit on the couch and listen to the radio together?
Stefan says the All Lives Matter are also the ones protecting the war on Merry Christmas. What the heck? All holidays matter. That's right. Hannah Manning says maybe the police should be protesting police brutality. You know what? I never got to. We never got to it yesterday when, and I wanted to ask her thoughts on it when LaToya was here. At least I don't think we discussed this specifically. In some communities, there's been examples of the police actually taking a knee with the protesters in solidarity, and I think that's really cool. But there are some who are very cynical about it, who say, "Oh no, this is just the police pandering." Because they actually want to avoid accountability.
What is wrong with making concessions in your life? What?
Right.
So I don't go around I do a lot of things I don't want to do. Like I apologize for things. I say please and thank you. It's all manners are pandering. We're all pandering at every minute. It's because we don't want to make people feel weird.
Right.
We're doing it for other people. I don't want to wear a mask at Home Depot, but I do. I'm pandering.
Right.
Okay. So pander away, my friend. Pander.
Yes.
We need more pandering. If everybody pandered, we'd all get along a little more.
That's true.
Like, just pander your way through life. What's wrong with all that is saying, oh, I'm being polite and I'm being sympathetic and I'm putting myself in other people's.
You sound like, have you read How to Influence, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie?
No, I haven't.
I
don't read it, though.
I tried to read that once. It's obviously a very famous book and a lot of successful people have read it, but I tried to read it and it was like, the whole vibe I was getting from the book was basically, kiss everyone's ass and pander to everybody. And I was like, oh, geez.
To a point, and you do it too, Matt.
Oh, we all do it to a point.
You do it to Peter White constantly.
That's true. I did say I could not put him on the list.
Yeah, you non-pandering.
But
no, don't pander to the point where you're losing yourself. Don't not be you, but don't be inconsiderate either. Like, so what's wrong with a cop taking a knee? Now, if there was action, he's gonna get up and take care of it.
Right.
It's not like he's taking his cleats off and like, I'm not playing today.
Right.
Like he's there. He's got his equipment. He's ready to roll.
Yeah.
Just at the moment, he's just being nice and he's keeping the peace, man. Like,
right.
Like, what do you want him to do? The opposite?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on. And again, more I'm waiting for that. We've all seen these horrible videos of people getting killed by cops. Mm-hmm. Have we ever seen one single video of a cop tackling another cop who's choking someone out?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
You don't see it.
No.
So there's a lot to ask out of a rookie. But at the same time, a death happened. And when do most rules and when does most action happen after something bad happens, you know?
Right.
So it's like, what a horrible gray situation we're in. There's so much gray area. And the bottom line is, we gotta be more sensitive.
Yeah.
We gotta, because why are we trying to incite people's emotions? Like, let's not do that. Don't park your truck in front of don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that, man.
Yeah.
And don't put those cops in that situation. And don't do that, you know.
Stephen Philbrook says, over the past 30 years, I've reread Dale Carnegie's book at least once every 2 years. Maybe I need to give it another chance. Oh, and hello to Scott Robinson in the Facebook live chat. I'm sorry we can't get to everyone's comments, but we're almost out of show. Lots of great comments in there. I'm going to have to look in. Well,
there'll be plenty of time tomorrow when Easy G's on. You'll get all your comments read. It's called filler.
What? What do you mean?
I'm just saying, I don't think Easy G is going to have a hot take on all this stuff.
I don't know. He had a hot take yesterday, man. That's how he ended up on the S list, calling in saying that we should leave up all the Confederate statues.
Well, hey, Easy G, hot take it away. Do it.
We'll see. You never know what you're going to get with Easy G. Sometimes he comes in like a ball of fire.
Oh, you never know who's listening. Hello, guys. It's Easy G on the Peter White Show.
Oh, my goodness. Has he been on the... He hasn't been on the morning show in a long time, has he?
No,
other than calling.
No, he hasn't. He's been on only when Peter plays the footage of him on your show talking about the Taco Gate.
Yes, yes. Taco
Had to
Gate.
mix it up.
He'll never live that down.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a Skype type of guy. I think he's more when the studio opens up a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. That's one thing. We're almost out of time, but just quickly, that's something I've been, and I don't know if you saw the video I posted the other night, but that's one thing that's been hard for me is my conflict over, on the one hand.
Who to let in?
No, not that. No, on the one hand.
It's a 3-week waiting list, everybody.
All the protests, which, my heart is with them, and I went and participated in the one here at Veterans Park and whatnot. But at the same time, it's like, damn, this is contributing to the giant spikes that we're seeing around the country in COVID-19. And it's like, but what do you do?
What do? You do, so even Lynch, not Lynch, Sununu, I get my governors mixed up.
Yes.
Sununu is like, look, that takes priority. And it's a tough stance to make, especially as a Republican governor, to say something like that.
Yeah.
But good for him. I mean, what do you do?
He's been excellent in my opinion.
It's like on one hand, we're just ignoring something, and then we're doing. It's like that's the thing about everything. There's always something about everything. There's always a bad protester who ruins it for people. There's always a bad, misbehaving homeless person who ruins the movement. There's always there's always someone screwing everything up.
Yep.
There's never 100% efficiency in anything.
Yeah.
What do you do though? Smoke weed, I guess.
I have to read this comment. Stefan says, I love yelling at Easy G because he gets so startled.
He does in person? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, he also said, I've yelled at Easy G countless times the last week or two. I bet you could even break down each individual time I yelled at him where it was and where he was on his way leaving and going to. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, he'll yell at him if he sees him on
another
the
speech text.
Yeah, he says it is disturbing to watch. The look on his face makes me cringe.
Oh my God,
that's funny.
Well, he'll be there tomorrow.
Yes.
Little plug. That's my plug.
Yes, I was going to ask you. Do you have anything to plug?
Yes, Easy G will be here tomorrow, guys.
You have anything to plug art wise?
No.
Oh,
I keep them separate.
Okay.
I like to just kind of spout off at the mouth here.
Sure. Well, I'm glad you came in. Always nice to see you.
Glad I came too.
Yes. And if you miss any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org, where we do archive all the shows. And, of course, be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. for the morning show.
I would like to say one thing.
Yes.
Pander.
Yes. Let's all pander more. I think that's a good... Well, it is the season, politically, right? There's a lot of pandering. All right. That's it for us for now. Easy G will be here tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.